Hello active traders, and welcome to How to Trade Advanced Forex Breakouts with my colleague Peter Bain. I'm Ken Calhoun, one of your hosts, and I wanted to thank everybody for being here. We've got some really exciting techniques. I'm looking forward to hearing what Peter has to say, especially. He's always sharp and always on the money with his tips. So welcome aboard, Peter Bain. It's great to see you here.
Yeah, Ken, good to be here. I always look forward to these events. I'd like to thank the audience participants for showing up. We've got some exciting news coming up momentarily, in addition to what we're talking about. So yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I will go ahead and turn the presenter control over to you, Peter, and you should have that now, and you should be good to go.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen, Ken?
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
Okay, the topic for today's presentation obviously is Advanced Forex Breakouts, and I'm going to lead off the pack. Ken and I will be getting into the website advancedforexbreakouts.com momentarily to go through it, but I want to go back in time. I need to prove a point here and beat the drum on the big dogs, because I'm sure you've heard it said before that there is no such thing as the Holy Grail. Well, that's not true. That absolutely is not true, and I'm going to prove that today. I don't know how many of you, this is more of a question, participated in the last webinar last month that Ken and I gave. Hopefully, if you were in that webinar, you paid attention, you heard what I said, and you took action. What I was talking about was the Australian dollar, and let's just go through what I said last month. The commercial traders a month ago were extremely long the Australian dollar. You can see that on this graph, and you can see a different rendition of that down here. Commercial traders extremely long the Australian dollar. At the same time, they were extremely short the US dollar. You can see that where my arrow is. And in this rendition down here, you can see the same thing. So what does that mean? It means that this was the perfect storm. This was the perfect setup. The big dogs were telling us to get ready for the Australian dollar itself in the currency world to go up, for the Australian dollar in the futures world to go up, and for the AUD/USD pair to go up in the Forex world. I mean, they were telling us that this was going to happen. And then it becomes a matter of being patient and waiting for the proper entry point, and I'm going to get into that today. This is the Holy Grail. This stuff really works. On this futures chart that I presented last month, I showed you that the Australian dollar was finding support on this futures chart at this level. I showed you that the US dollar was extremely overbought on this futures chart. And putting the two graphs together, this is the Australian dollar and this is the US dollar. Basically, what that meant was that with the big dogs being long the Australian dollar and short the US dollar, it was just a matter of time before the Australian dollar headed north. And this was just a gift. This was a moneymaker. This is something that if you'd paid attention to my presentation, no fooling around. That's what I talked about last month, and let's just find out where we are this month as of last night. The information I'm presenting is hot off the press. Okay, as of last Friday, when the big dogs data hits the press, this is what it looked like last Friday for the Australian dollar. The big dogs have unwound some of their long positions, but all they've done has sold them to the hedge funds. The hedge funds are now buying the Australian dollar, and they're buying their lots from guess who? The big dogs. The big dogs set up the move. The hedge funds are now on board, and that's what causes the Australian dollar to rise, because the hedge funds are buying Australian dollars. Who could have guessed? They were short the Australian dollar down to this point last month until they woke up and realized that the big dogs were long. This is the divergence that we look for. And now, lo and behold, the big dogs are selling their lots to the hedge funds. And who could have guessed the Australian dollar is, take that message away, the Australian dollar is rising. This is the US dollar picture. That was the Australian dollar as of last Friday. This is the US dollar as of last Friday. You can see the commercial traders still pretty short, reasonably short, extremely short actually, on the US dollar. You can see it better depicted down here. And let's have another look. This is a futures chart as of, I believe, yesterday. Even though it says the 31st of March, this is a longer-term depiction of the Australian dollar in the futures world. Probably a weekly or a monthly chart. But anyway, good support for the Australian dollar at this level. This is what it was last month in March. And this is the real telltale here. This is the US dollar as of last night. I printed this off last night. Look at this. We've got a topping out process on the US dollar. It's meeting resistance at this level and starting to fall off. So the US dollar has reached its peak and it's going down from here. This is the futures chart for the Australian dollar as of last night, and you can see, who could have guessed, back in March when I gave my last webinar, we were mid-March about here or so, and that's when I recommended that you all seriously consider buying the Australian dollar and look at what's happened since then. We've had a nice rise in the Australian dollar in the futures world. Let's see how this has played out in the Forex world. As of yesterday, on the daily chart, the Australian dollar has broken above the 50 exponential moving average, which is bullish, which means that we're in an uptrend on the Australian dollar in the Forex world. MACD is trending up, that's bullish. More importantly, on the hourly chart, it's up and away. You can see that we had a golden cross back here. The 50 exponential moving average above the 200. Price rising. When I gave my presentation last month, we were back here in March. And if you had paid attention and followed that webinar and jumped on the Australian dollar, you'd be in the money. Even if you'd bought here, put your stop 20 to 30 pips southward, you wouldn't have got stopped out here because price just came back to test this level and then took off. I even did another print screen just moments before we started this webinar. You can see how the Australian dollar has advanced even further on the daily chart and look at where it is now on the hourly chart. Like I said before, if you'd bought after the last webinar back here, this is where you'd be. You'd be in the money. So don't tell me there isn't a holy grail in this business. I've just proven to you convincingly that the big dogs forecast this move. This rise in the Australian dollar is no big surprise. They called for it. It's happening, and the big dogs trade thousands of lots worth millions of dollars at a time. You want to believe they're doing quite nicely in this run-up in price. So, Ken, that's a little bit longer than I should have taken, but I wanted to give an update on that before we got into the site itself.
No, thanks so much, Peter Bain. That was great. It's good that you're mentioning that one. That is the single strongest recent breakout chart, which is a great lead-in to our topic. Tonight we're going to be looking at advanced Forex breakouts, and Peter just proved to you, and he's good. His calls work out virtually all the time, which is great. How much money could you have made had you taken that call from Peter Bain in the Aussie dollar? And you can see, sure enough, it's broken out here recently, aggressively in our recent price action. You can see it's really oversold there. It's starting to bounce, and you can see how strong it's moved up in today's markets as well. And Peter, anything pop out to you from the chart? I see a MACD crossover down here, which would have been good. Or even back there to signal, that would have got you in, that would have got you in, that would have got in. Those all would have worked out nicely. And this thing ran up from 75.6 all the way up to just over 80. So really good run in this.
Well, I'm sure that some of the audience members are thinking to themselves, well, okay, this is great. I missed the move. So what are you telling me? Does that mean that I missed the move? Well, not really, because if you look at the daily chart down at the bottom right of your screen, yeah, down there on the daily chart down there, the move has only just begun. The price has just turned the corner on the Australian dollar. We got lots of room for upward movement. What you want to do is you want to trade this off of the hourly chart. You want to go back to the hourly chart underneath the screen there. And what you want to do is you want to buy weakness. In other words, if you look at MACD where it is right now, Ken, over to the right there, it's overbought. You don't want to be buying now because you'll get stopped out for sure. You want to wait for weakness. We're in an uptrend. In other words, we are in a definite uptrend. That's been established. The Australian dollar is going up. So you want to wait, be patient, and wait for weakness. And by weakness, I mean you want MACD to fall off, become oversold, and then when it crosses up through its trigger line, you want to buy. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Where Ken is pointing out to, and then over to the right, we had another penetration of the trigger line. That was another buy point. This is how you buy a currency pair in an uptrend. It is not rocket science. You don't need a robot for this. You don't need somebody telling you to pull the trigger. You just need to exercise common sense, follow MACD, and do exactly what MACD is telling you. The trick is to be patient, because a lot of traders have this fire, fire, fire mentality. It's not ready, fire, aim. It's like, hey, I've got a need for speed. I want to trade right now. I don't want to wait for tomorrow. Well, you're going to get burned. You're going to lose money consistently because you have to be patient. Right now, you have to be patient and wait for the Australian dollar to achieve weakness again in the uptrend and let MACD take you into the trade. It's as simple as that. And if you do that and put your trade on and put your stop 20 to 30 pips southward of your trade, you're not going to get stopped out because we're in an uptrend and you're buying weakness in the uptrend. Right. This is about as easy as trading gets. First of all, the big dogs set up the move. I've proven that to you convincingly. You don't need to be convinced anymore of their power. And now that they've created this uptrend, it's a matter of they've given this to you on a platter.
Right, and that's
all you have to do now is trade it using good technical skills, following MACD and doing exactly what MACD is telling you right now, that it might be a good time to sell and take profits if you got in early. Otherwise, wait until MACD falls off, becomes oversold, and wait for MACD to punch up through his trigger line, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
All right, very good. And you can see what Peter teaches works time and time again. And one of the things that I'm eager to work with Peter this Saturday on is our advanced Forex breakouts, where we'll be looking not only at advanced strategies using the MACDs, but things like Forex trend lines, how to combine top guns with quick trading strategies. And he's going to share with you how to pick the right charts, the right indicators, and how to combine them into a thoughtful trading approach that makes sense. And then also what he calls recurring Forex patterns. I like to look at momentum breakout, scalping, position sizing, average true range, and average directional index, Wilder's ADX. I've used this for over 15 years now, and it's one of my favorites to look at, along with swing trading strategies, what I call breakout compression trades, and also how to trade correlated pairs. For example, how many of you noticed, if you take a quick look, these are some of the hottest Forex charts lately. Let me pin this to the top, and the Aussie dollar being just one of them. One of the things I always teach traders, tens of thousands of traders over the years, is trade markets first and instruments second. So for example, both the euro and the British pound are very strong lately. Everything's been strong against the US dollar, including the Aussie, but look at the correlation and chart pattern of the euro dollar and the British pound to the dollar. You can see the pound dollar has the cleanest, strongest runaway breakout, and if you had done what Peter said about buying the MACD crossover there, you would have gotten a big winning breakout. If you do what I do and typically wait for a cut breakout, you've still got a winning breakout to scale and position size into. So that's why I like learning from Peter, is he teaches you some of these pivots, and when combined with patterns like hammers or bullish engulfing, I don't see any hammers here now, but we do have a lot of bullish lower shadows that broke above the 50 EMA line here. That produced a good buy signal number one, so he would have got you guys in right on the first pivot. I would have got you guys in, again, I like at least 30 pips above the high for a breakout to avoid false breakouts, and in following what I call a wide range candle. So one of the things that we teach you in the advanced Forex breakouts is how to combine the very best of what Peter Bain has to share with you with what I've got to share with you. You may have seen my article in the November Stocks and Commodities magazine. Works great for Forex too. We're looking for these exceptionally wide candles at the right side of here's a bullish cup and a handle, and there's a signal candle, and you can go along above that. So like Peter said too, don't worry about if it's ran on up without you. There's always going to be new opportunities. And I think Peter made an exceptionally good point about being patient. And today's this ridiculous social media world, and everybody's living on their iPads and clicking away and tweeting away and all that kind of foolishness and nonsense. That's going to get you killed as a trader. A smart trader knows when to squeeze off a trade, boom, at the breakout, first perfect breakout, then a second storm. So you've got two signals, trade one, then add to a winning trade, say above the high of a candle. So even if you miss that, you get in here, even the day after, continues to run on up to new highs. And Peter, any thoughts on that to combine? Because I know traders are eager to join us for our advanced Forex breakouts. Only $97, so it's a bargain at www.advancedforexbreakouts. Session does include a high-resolution video. I always get that question, and yes, so you will get the video of the event, and it's a full hour, and we'll stick around for some Q&A after. But and we had over 268 traders posted comments on the site. Thanks to everyone who did that. This is an updated version of Advanced Forex Breakouts. We haven't taught this, and it was July 2012 was the first time we did this, so it's been almost 3 years. We got advanced, updated charts for everybody, and it's a real bargain. So be sure to join us for that. But Peter, any quick thoughts on this about combining, say, first trade was the best trade, where you would have called it here with that MACD crossover. If I understand you right, that would have been the right buy signal, which was perfect, right before a nice 6-day uptrend. And I would have scaled in or initiated a first trade on a breakout, cut breakout continuation up here. So whether you trade pivots like this, or by buying weakness, or you buy strength like I do, you combine what Peter teaches with what I teach you, and you've got a perfect way to get in early and position size in, or trade early or trade late as your personal trading preference may make. Any thoughts, Peter? Yeah.
There is another strategy that you can use, Ken, that I particularly like, going back to where MACD crossed up there. Instead of just buying one lot, given that we know that we're in an uptrend and that MACD is punching up through his trigger line, what you can do is buy 2 lots. Put your stop 20 to 30 pips southward. Then as price advances, after price has advanced, say 20 pips, you can collapse 1 lot, take your 20 pip, bank your 20 pips, take your profit, and then move your stop up to break even. In other words, where you entered the trade to begin with. Move your stop up to that level and leave it there. I don't believe in trailing stops at all. It's just a personal preference. I know some people do, but I don't. But anyway, so you could collapse your one of your lots after prices have advanced 20 pips, and then let the other lot run. So you've banked 20 pips, and then you have another lot running for you, making money. The advantage of doing it that way is you lock in your profit. You lock in some profit early on in the game, and that improves your happiness level. You've made some money. It's in the bank. Now you have another lot that's running and making money for you. So that's just a different twist on that strategy. The other comment I was going to make was, if you have a need for speed and you don't want to wait for weakness to occur on the Australian dollar, what you can do is cycle through all your other pairs on your platform, on the hourly chart, and look for uptrending situations, and you will probably find situations that are tradable without having to wait, where MACD is weak and it's about to punch up through its trigger line. It doesn't have to be of the Australian dollar, as long as you're looking at an hourly chart that's in an uptrend and you have a mindset of buying weakness. That's another way of doing this, because if you have, say, 26 pairs, or how many ever pairs there are in your platform, if you cycle through all the pairs on the hourly chart basis, you'll find 1 or 2 or 3 where there is weakness that you can trade while you're waiting for the Australian dollar to achieve weakness. Because what happens with a pair like the Australian dollar is you get people who know what they're doing, they buy, and then when price runs up, they sell to take their profits, and that's what causes, in this case, the Australian dollar to fall off, because there's some selling pressure because people are taking profits. And then you just wait for price weakness to settle in and MACD to go oversold, and then you jump on it. But as long as you get the idea that you're buying the dips in the uptrend, you can be trading either the Australian dollar or any other currency pair on your platform, as long as it's in an uptrend. I don't like shorting anything. I don't like trading anything that's trending down. I only like dealing with things that are trending up. It's just a personal preference, and you'll find probably on any given day you'll probably find 3 pairs trending up on the hourly chart, and you'll find some good trading opportunities, so you don't have to wait for the Australian dollar to do its thing.
Right, and another good point for all of you who are also stock traders. I trade multiple markets. Our markets have been in congestion lately, so if you look at this is a 24-hour chart. If you look at the daily in the spiders or S&P, the markets ran up, but it's been tired the last couple of months. So now's a really good time for those of you who are equity traders to consider trading instruments like your currency pairs, because they're very strongly correlated. For example, if the pound dollar is going up, the pound yen is also strong, because the British pound is a strong underlying currency right now, so it makes sense to go long at new highs once you see those patterns, whether you're looking for the first time there's a MACD crossover, or like me, I like to wait for cup breakouts. I'm a classic professional breakout trader. I always anticipate there's going to be a false breakout, and then it's going to pull back and then keep going on up. So if you add during weakness here, you've got a very good price entry and a very nice place you can put a stop underneath. Or if you want to wait, either way, you're in the money. Now, one of the things that you'll be learning about once you join us for Advanced Forex Breakouts this Saturday is how to combine a lot of what Peter teaches with what I teach. So we'll look at the charts this weekend together as a team and teach you how to combine things like Peter's quick trading strategies for how to get the right charts and the indicators to use on those charts, and also how to trade recurring Forex patterns. And I'll be teaching you how to use average true range and ADX continuation trades with current market charts. So if you get just one good trading idea, obviously it's more than worth the pittance of a price. It's just $97, and you do get access to a members area where you can download the video that will be posted there for you coming up after the main event. I'll get that for you. It should be later that day, Sunday at the latest, so you'll get it within 24 hours. So even if you can't join us live this Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern, you will get the complete, at least 1 hour long, high-resolution Blu-ray quality, 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution video with a lot of good strategies and tips. So, you know, Peter Bain's the world's top of the Forex coaches out there. I'm one of the world's top experts in breakout or momentum trades. You may have seen both of us at the Forex World Expo. I know Peter was there with me too. Back many years ago, I was a speaker there, and Peter was too at the World Live Las Vegas Forex Expo, and we're recognized experts in the industry for many years. We're not Johnny-come-lately like a lot of these Forex people are. We've both been in the industry as seasoned experts, and you'll get our very best thoughtful, professional, step-by-step strategies. And you can see what over 260 people posted from the last time we did one of these 3 years ago. It's been quite a July of 2011, I think, or 2012. It's been almost 3 years since we did one. So our schedules are so busy, it'll likely be quite a long time before we do another one. So if you get a chance, go ahead and register now at Advanced Forex Breakouts. You can tell from Peter's enthusiasm and mine too. You know, once you know how to trade, the neat thing is, I won't say it's like printing money in the bank. There's still some intelligence that needs to go on with position sizing and scaling, but you've got so many good uptrending charts to work with. It'd be a real shame not to learn how to trade them correctly, how to avoid false breakouts and get in on those that are relatively strong on continuous moves once they pierce moving averages, once you get a MACD crossover that would have given you a perfect. See, look, how many of you can tell me what kind of hammer, oops, I gave it away, what kind of candle is? It's been a long day. That's a hammer. Well, anyway, what kind of candle is that? That's a hammer. You can see the hammer was confirmed by a MACD crossover. We had a shooting star here that pulled back, and then we had a wide range candle. These are my favorites. They're wide range momentum candles at the right side of a bullish cup above a moving average. So if you got in trade number one, and I'll teach you a bit about candles too and how to trade them correctly for Forex, for advanced Forex breakouts, your first buy signal would have been here. That would also be the same buy signal that this would have generated, say, even the day after. So you got one signal, two signal, three signal, three chances to get it right and potentially make a lot of money in this trade, in the cable, in the pound dollar. So whatever you're trading, we want to teach you strategies that work out most of the time and how to combine those with our current market charts. And Peter is spot on with the AUD dollar. You can see that has come a long ways down. Here's a quick how to avoid false breakouts tip. Don't buy right here, because people who are already long are going to be selling to you right there. So you don't want to buy right under previous resistance. You want to wait for it to get over that, maybe 20, 30 pips. So get in long here on a breakout continuation. Start to tighten in a hard stop right under resistance and get out at the first sign of a stall or a pullback. Then rebuy if it pierces that previous resistance. That would be the second leg of the trade. And I'll teach you how to leg into your trades. And third leg of the trade would be up here. And it's all about visually marking out price action continuation plays. And you know, whenever you get a good jump start of a trade, something that's running like this, it's a smart idea to figure out a trading plan that makes sense, that you can capitalize on and make better winning trades with. So anyway, we've got a lot to cover for you in Advanced Forex Breakouts. Let me know if any questions, and if not, let me turn it back over to Peter Bain, just to comments on what they'll be learning from you this Saturday. Look forward to it. I know we've each got maybe 30, maybe we'll run 45 minutes each. Okay, let's go wild. We'll run it maybe an hour and a half, but 30 to 45 minutes of content from each of us where you'll get our very best tips. Originally, this was a multi-webinar event that we charged, it was, I think, $300 for, but now it's a fraction of that because we're going to compress it into an hour, maybe an hour and a half of our best advanced Forex Breakouts training. So I'm really looking forward to working with Peter because what he teaches you guys actually works the vast majority of the time, as does what I teach you. So put us together, outsource your thinking on trading to us, and we'll give you the answer key to the market for exactly how to trade with some good, honest, no nonsense, no BS, straightforward, intelligent, clearly explained, easy to understand strategies that you can start using yourself. And Peter, any thoughts on, before we wrap up, any last thoughts for our audience out there?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you've got my portion on the screen there, because these are probably my top 4 areas of interest. I've already talked about the big dogs, the top guns of Forex trading. I talked about those today. May touch on that again on Saturday, but certainly trend lines. If you want to bone up between now and Saturday, you can look up Tom DeMark. He's got a great book on the market, New Science of Technical Analysis. Chapter 1 is a must-read. When it comes to trend lines, he's the guy I follow. He's the master when it comes to trend lines. That said, it takes a while to get used to knowing how to draw trend lines properly, and I'll be getting into that. Quick trading strategies, yeah, for those of you who have a need for speed and can't wait around for the 1 hour chart to do its thing, I'm going to show you how you can crank up the speed button and get some action. We'll get into that. That's always fun. Recurring patterns. There are 4 patterns that occur over and over again. It's like magic. It's you wonder why, you wonder how, but they occur, and I'm going to show you what they are and how to spot them, because they're money makers. So in and amongst those 4 topics on my agenda, you're going to have some takeaways that you can implement right away. In the meantime, if you have any questions, get them in, because the whole purpose for the webinar on Saturday is to leave you educated and happy, and the only way we can do that is if we're answering your questions. Trading is a very easy business. Where it isn't an easy business is when you try and complicate it with too much stuff, too much junk. There's a lot of gurus, so-called gurus out there, who are trying to convince you that you need robots, or you need them, or whatever, when in fact all you need is just a few simple tricks, and you're away to the races.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah, and it's just a matter of understanding the patterns that work and then being able to put them to work for your own trades. And so looking forward to working with you, Peter, to help all of our traders this Saturday. If you haven't yet registered, go ahead and do so. I'm going to be taking the links down to order Friday night, because I need time to get everybody their logins and passwords. We expect this to be jam-packed with a lot of people, so I want to ask that everybody please get your orders in between now and Friday at midnight, and that's May 1st already. May's coming up. So if you would get your order in sometime between now and Friday, and I will get you registered for that event, and then I will also send you your own personal login and password to a private members area where you can log in after the event later that day or Sunday and download the complete video high-resolution recording of the webinar as well. So, you know, if you just make one good trade, obviously it could more than pay for your tiny investment. So probably a good strategy to pick up the best of what Peter and I have to teach about advanced Forex breakouts. You'll be looking at momentum, price actions, position sizing, price action patterns, average true range and average directional index, and also how to scan for breakouts and the rest of it. So we got a lot to cover, and we're going to give you some very good advanced strategies that you've likely not heard anywhere else, that don't require any special software and don't require special magic indicators and don't require any robots or any of that nonsense. It just requires the best software, which is your brain and your eyes and your mind, and being able to see and look through Peter and my eyes, kind of look over our shoulder as we deconstruct the charts together and give you good, honest, you know, professional trading strategies that can potentially do well for you. And again, Peter and I are both, back when they had the Forex Expos, we both spoke at those. We're world recognized experts with a lot of credentials and credibility and expertise. So we're not just Johnny-come-latelys like all the competitors are, who are internet marketers and not traders. We're traders, and we want to teach you how to trade advanced Forex breakouts this Saturday. So look forward to seeing you all there. It'll be the best $97 you spent. Hopefully you can recoup that with your first trade within a few days, and you know, you'll have these skills for a lifetime. So I look forward to working with Peter because he's authentic and what he teaches really works. He's a gentleman and absolutely skilled at teaching traders how to turn the corner and do better in their Forex trade. So it's always an honor to work with you, Peter. And it's a real honor to have so many of you here tonight. And we'll look forward to all of you who are intelligently, wisely registering between now and Friday night, so you can join us for the premium event, including a download in case you can't make it, or more likely you just want to watch it over and over again over the next couple of months. You'll have a WMV high-resolution video download to work with as well. So thanks so much to all of you for being here. I will get the recording out to you. We're going to send out an email. Let's see, today's the 28th. We're going to get the email out to you Thursday, so you will get a replay of tonight's event in 48 hours. So look forward to that, and we will see you this Saturday. And thanks so much to all of you for being here. I was really excited to work with Peter again, because what he teaches works. You know, how much could you have made had you taken that Aussie dollar trade he called, 2 months ago? It ran up like gangbusters. So, the money's out there, as are the stops and the risk, and you need to know how to navigate the difference between educators who are honest and know how to teach and actually do this, and everyone else, and then put it to work safely in a conservative way in your own trading accounts. So thanks so much to all of you for being here. And thanks so much, Peter Bain. It's always an honor to work with you. You're a real pleasure, real treat to learn from, because what you teach is intelligent and it works. So that's always a mental relief to work with you, because what you teach actually helps traders, which is vitally important compared to most of the people out there. So thanks, and I'll look forward to seeing you and all of our traders this Saturday in Advanced Forex Breakouts.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Ken. I'm always keen to share what I know with the audience. It's going to be a great event. The name of the game is to show everybody what works and how to make money, and that's what we're all about. And I appreciate the opportunity to work with you, Ken. I always learn from you. We come at our trades a little bit different, but the outcome is always the same, and that's interesting and refreshing. This gives our audience members an option as to which way they want to look at a chart, and either way will work equally as well.
Right, and a good point, a question from John. Yeah, this is included free for anyone who is a Forex Success Mastery system owner, our 12 DVD system. So this is included as a free bonus, and your GoToWebinar link is in the members area as we speak. So feel free to go ahead and register for that. And so you don't have to pay for that if you're a Forex Success Mastery system owner. If you want to get this for free, then you can buy Forex Success Mastery at its site. This is kind of an a la carte offer for those also who are not current system owners. So it's a free bonus. We give our members at Forex Success Mastery free bi-monthly webinars for an entire year following your purchase, including this one. So that's a great reason to order that system. But if you can't afford it right now, or you want to put it off, probably shouldn't, because it's still a lot less than the $5,000 our competitors charge for their stuff. But this is an a la carte for $97 for those of you who are not 12 DVD system owners. So if you're Forex Success Mastery system owner, this is included free, so do not pay for it. If you're a system owner, you get it free. And thanks to John for reminding me to mention that. I put that in big red letters here too, just in case. So this webinar is included free for Forex Success Mastery, or you can order it a la carte for just $97 on its own. So either way, you'll come out ahead. And thanks so much, Peter. We're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight, and we'll get the video out to you guys in 48 hours. And thanks, John. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Ken, and thanks to all of the audience members for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.